What is up, Baggies fans, football fans and sports fans, and welcome to the latest matchday preview on the channel. Derby County versus West Bromwich Albion, Pride Park, Friday night. Not a game you want to be going to straight after losing 5-0 at home to Norwich. Before we get into the matchday breakdown, smash that subscribe button. We are super close to 1,000 subscribers now. Just check in. Looks like we are 32 subscribers away as of the time of recording this video. So hit that subscribe button just underneath this video, subscribe. The bell little notification will appear. Hit that one and you'll be notified of when we go live. We're doing a match day watch along tomorrow for the game, so make sure you get involved in that one and come and say hello. Let's set the target on this video to 30 likes and leave a comment and let me know your thoughts, obviously, on Tuesday night and also the predictions for Friday night. And as I say, it's Friday night under the lights, Derby away. But before we talk about the game, I need to be honest straight off the bat. I am still absolutely apocalyptically annoyed at Tuesday night. A 5-0 loss at home to Norwich City. Unacceptable. Not an unlucky game. Not one of those nights. Not the scoreline flattered them, because it could have been 6 or 7. It was just unacceptable from the first minute to the last minute. It was one of the worst performances from West Brom I've seen at home in my lifetime. You know, I don't think anyone associated with the club comes out looking good from that game. I'm not going to spend the whole video reliving it because there's no point just wallowing in misery, but it has to be acknowledged because games like that don't just disappear. They linger. They raise serious questions about the mentality of the group, the organisation, and whether actually we're learning from our mistakes. And that's why this next game feels absolutely massive for us. And for me, I just don't see there's anybody there with a mentality to go into this game positively. Yeah. Football doesn't wait for you to just get over it. You're straight back into it. Away from home, Friday night, hostile atmosphere, against opposition we're historically struggled badly against. We're heading to Hyde Park, and that alone tells you this is going to be tough. The last time we won away at Pride Park was in 2003, over 20 years ago. Different squads, different managers, same story. And if you're looking for confidence from history, you won't find it here. And to make it even worse than that, Derby are managed by someone that always seems to find a way to beat us. John Eustace, Birmingham City, Derby earlier in the Cup and also at home. No matter what club he's at, he knows exactly how to set teams up to frustrate us. He organises his sides well, makes them difficult to break down. They always seem to just nick a goal or get scrappy and beat us. It's not going to be an open game. It's not going to be a flowing game. It's not going to be time where we get that space and time. It will be scrappy. It will be physical and very uncomfortable. And we will not deal with that straight away, I can tell you. Norwich pushed us really early on in the first couple of minutes and we panicked. And there's no form of formation. Looking at the game now, watching it back, watching all my highlights, for the goals that they scored, our positioning, I could not see a formation. The Middlesbrough game, you could clearly see Banks working together. The Norwich game, everybody was just playing everywhere. It was like a bunch of school kids running around. And on paper, yes, Derby do have some issues. They're without Dion Sanderson, Matt Clarke, Carlton Morris. They're not insignificant players for Derby. They're big, big absences, especially at a championship level where physicality and structure matters so much. Normally, you'd look at that and think we've got an opportunity here. But football is never that simple because they've also fixed one of the biggest problems. They brought in Patrick Agyemang, however you say that, I do apologise. And that is exactly the type of number 9 we're crying out for. A proper focal point, someone that can, occupy defenders, bring others into play and give them an outball when they're under pressure. Against us, given what we saw on Tuesday night, that really worries me. Because if our defenders try and get tight to him, they'll just get shrugged off the ball easily. Mepham and Phillips were just pushed over like they weren't even there. Charlie Taylor, what's he playing centre-back for? He can't run. He's just going to absolutely annihilate us the way he's playing up front at the moment for Derby. And he's going to have a field day. Our defenders aren't going to get close to him. They're not going to want to get, tight in. And he's just going to spin, run at us and let him basically, like the first Norwich goal. Why do we just keep backing off? Because it's going to happen against Derby. We're just going to keep backing off. 20 yards out from goal, they're going to have a pop. Because why not? Griffiths seems to struggle with long-range strikes. Charlton, Swansea, Norwich. So why not have a pop? But it does bring me on to West Brom because after that Norwich performance, something has to change. You can't concede 5 goals at home and then turn up Friday night with the same system, the same approach, and expect things to magically have improved. For me, the back three we played against Norwich was beyond poor. It just didn't work. It completely collapsed. We had Mepham, Phillips, and Charlie Taylor at the back. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it. They were dreadful, all three of them. Absolutely dreadful. And you could sense it, as I said, in the first minute when Phillips tried to clear a ball and then ended up spooning it into the box up in the air, only to find Mepham, luckily. That was the first minute of the game. And that just shows you how poor our defenders were. When we signed him, Derby said, you've got a defender on your hand that just won't be able to play out from the back. We haven't got either. We haven't got a defender that can play out from the back or a defender. It's worrying. And the spacing was wrong. The communication was non-existent. Players getting dragged all over the place. And once Norwich got a sniff of that, it was panic stations. It looked like 3 individuals rather than a unit. And at a championship level, you get punished for that every single time. And I think the key word from that is we look like 3 individuals at the back. We look like individuals across the pitch. Not a single person trying to play as a team. Those back 3, I mean, Mepham and Phillips have played together before. But for us, it's like they've never met each other. They don't know each other. What's gone on there? At the start of the season, they actually look like decent defenders. But now, they can't string a pass together. I mean, look at Norwich's 5th goal. How embarrassing is that? The 4th goal. Look how embarrassing it was for our defenders. They put no effort in the tackles there. They just went, oh, no, he's got past me. Oh, well. If we do that against Derby at Pride Park, they'll make mincemeat of us in seconds. It could be embarrassing again on Friday. I'm glad I'm not going. I'm glad I'm going to be sat here watching it in warmth. I feel sorry for the fans travelling to that game. I'm sure many of them won't be going now after Tuesday night. For me, it isn't about hanging one player out to dry because it's been all of our 11. It's about recognising a system that completely failed. The back 3 gave us no stability, no protection, and no platform to build from. So for this game, I'd scrap it, not tweak it, scrap it. Go to a 4-4-2. Look what happened when we did it against Swansea. Played 2 up front. Okay, we got lucky and won on penalties and 8 at the post, but we won the game. 2 up front causes problems. Don't try play Price as right wing back. Don't try and play him as like an attacking outside winger. Play him in the middle of the park. Look what happened at Borough when we dropped him deep in the middle of the park. There was a link between the defence and the attack. Tuesday night, there was none of that because nobody was dropping deep to receive the ball and trying to move forward with it. Price is the perfect player to do that. Bielik and Stiles as a midfield 2 does not work. It's too defensive. We're effectively playing, 6 defenders? Because Ealing Jr. as well is playing as wing back and he's really more of a defender. So, you know what I mean? We're essentially going into game with 6 defensive players on the pitch. Go back to a back 4, simplify it, clear the roles, clear responsibilities, and a shape players understand. Callum Stiles go back to left back. As much as he's great in midfield, we need to drop Charlie Taylor and put Stiles in as even if they're left centre back. He's going to be more comfortable there. He can be more disciplined defensively, and he's not going to be like a headless chicken running around in the middle of the park. And it immediately makes us more compact and less easy to pull apart, especially against a side that will go direct and win the second balls. Higher up the pitch, go 2 up top. Why do we keep playing 1 up top, especially at home? We've been far too easy to defend against recently, and especially away from home. One isolated striker feeding on scraps. Grant is not a number 9. Whatever he sees in him trying to play as a lone number 9, I do not know. His best position is out on the wing, and I say best position because realistically, that's all he does. He runs. That's all he offers us. Heggie up front, I feel sorry for the lad. He feels like a Rondon on the Pulis where we're just hitting the ball up to him and hoping he can do something with it. Put 2 up top. Make the defenders think about it. Force them into decisions instead of just stepping out and challenged. It's not about going gung-ho. It's about competing, about making the game uncomfortable for them as well as it will be for us. This game for me is as much about mentality as it is tactics. After that 5-0 defeat, you find a lot about the group of players that we've got. And for me, we already know what they're going to do. They're going to not be asked to turn up. Look at the kids on the under 18s, under 20s that would give everything to be able to play for the Albion. All of us in the stands, an opportunity to play on that hallowed turf. We'd die for it. We bleed blue and white, and yet these players get paid 20, 30k a week. They don't care. If we get relegated, they'll be on to another club. They don't care about us. I genuinely can't think of a player on the pitch that goes, "Canan, if we go down, I've lost my club." Not a single one, and that's worrying. It really is. We called Whitwell back on from loan from Forest Green. Why? If he's not going to play, send him back on loan again. You know, we're crying out for a creative player like that to sit behind the strikers, and we're not even playing him. I genuinely don't even know. You know, it's where the leaders step up. I say that vaguely. Have we got any leaders? We signed Phillips and Mepham. They were supposed to be our leaders. I don't see it. They shirk now. They hide. Mowat is a captain on the pitch when he plays. I can't hear him. Captain's supposed to be barking orders at his team. I can't hear him. Cannot hear him once. It's embarrassing. It really is embarrassing right now. And, it's going to be, whether the Tuesday was that freak collapse or a sign of something deeper. Friday night games always test your character. Can we stay in the game if we concede first? I doubt it. Can we deal with the pressure from the crowd? I doubt it. Can we battle when things turn ugly? Well, we know we can't do that. Derby will fancy this, of course they will. They'll have seen that Norwich game. They'll have looked at the vulnerabilities, and that's what the first 20 minutes is going to be. They're going to absolutely fly at us out of the blocks for that first 20 minutes. And if we start the game like we did against Norwich, it'll be 3 or 4-0 before we even blink. And we cannot afford the sloppy passes. Look at the 5th goal. We just passed it to him. The 4th goal, embarrassing. Our defenders were just basically swiping legs at nothing, trying to kick it. About as much effort as me standing up. That's how much effort they put in. Just, oh, I'm going to kick it. Oh, no, I've missed it. Oh, they've scored. Oh, well. Cheap fouls, lazy lapse in concentration. If Derby get momentum early on, with the crowd behind them, it's going to be a very long night. Despite all of this, it's still an opportunity for us, a proper one. Not just to get a result, but to show some response, a bit of pride, a bit of organisation, some fight. Nobody's expecting perfection after Tuesday, but the bare minimum we ask for as fans is effort, structure, and a clear plan. Norwich are a point behind us with a game in hand now and look like they're, storming. They're going to be up towards the playoffs towards the end of the year, I reckon. Portsmouth behind us have got 3 games in hand. They're playing tonight. I don't know what the score is. If they win that game, then it becomes very, very squeaky bum time. Blackburn don't deserve to be anywhere near there where they are. And if they sack their manager and get somebody else in, they could get a manager bounce and then we are really in doo-doo. So for me, change the system, go back to basics, put the players in the strongest positions, give ourselves a fighting chance. What do you guys think? Do you change it now or stick and hope it clicks? Do you go to up top or play it safe? And how confident are you honestly given our record at Pride Park? For me, I'm going 3-1 Derby County. I think that'll be too much for us. I think they'll go 3 up quite quickly and then almost ease off of us. Get your score comments down below. Make sure you like and subscribe if you're new here. And whatever happens on Friday night, let's hope we see a response and up the Albion.